We should no longer only be worried about the power of government, we should also now start to be worried about the power of private businesses. Hello children, I'd like to give you a bedtime story. I'd like to give you a story of a time when there were freedoms, when the place or the world was a little bit more unsafe, but at least the man had a right to say what he wanted to. Now that all started to collapse in about 2020, when David ICKE and other such people were banned from social media platforms because what they said didn't follow the modern narrative. Now the people could have stood up for him and helped him and challenged those technocratic governments and private companies which are acting like governments and influencing governments and then actually became the government which you have today. But we decided to do nothing. The reason we decided was because we got addicted to Netflix and pornography and other things, and we thought it was better to give up our freedoms for safety, except further down the line they happened to take safety away from us, but we couldn't do anything then because we had given up our freedoms. So I'm very sorry as you go to bed you live in a nightmare world, but you always have your dreams to rely on. David ICKE didn't survive in prison, and we like to tell the story of David ICKE to remind our children of what you shouldn't do. Now we like to talk about David ICKE as someone that you shouldn't follow, because standing up for your rights and standing up for freedom of speech just gets you into trouble, doesn't it? Now we like to talk about David ICKE as a myth to our children because that helps them understand that, you know, following things like freedom and free speech are very dangerous, and it's much better just to rely on a one-state global tyrannical society, which we all live in now. So don't go and stand up for what you believe in. Just be passive and mundane and listen to other people and not your own thoughts, and be obedient and don't be independent. And that's what's going to make you a man, but not a human.
We're gonna change the world.
Isn't that wonderful?
Before you do go to bed and dream to escape the nightmare world that we now live in, that we, your guardians, never really stood up for, I'd like to tell you or introduce you to a story called Animal Farm by George Orwell. Okay children, I hope you're tucked in and feeling comfortable. I'm going to start reading the story for you now. In Animal Farm, a group of animals took control of a farm where they were being bred and made to work by a nasty farmer who had all the power. A bit like us today. The animals rebelled, unlike us. Old Major, a well-respected pig that loved his fellow animals, wrote 7 commandments to protect the animals after they had won and seized power back from the tyrannical farmer. Much like the laws of freedom of speech, the Magna Carta and the US amendments, which were things in the past that we don't have anymore. As the pigs rose to power, like Google, Twitter, Facebook, they suddenly realized that they ran the place and had control over the other animals. They started to resent the other animals because the other animals weren't as intelligent as them, the pigs. The new pig leader, called Napoleon, then slowly, bit by bit, drip by drip, over time, rewrote, contorted those commandments that were put in place to protect the people and the animals by the tyrannical pig. The great pig then wrote 7 commandments. The first commandment, whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. This was changed to 4 legs good, 2 legs better, as the pig started to walk on 2 legs. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. This was changed to whatever has wings or 4 legs is not a friend. No animal shall wear clothes, but the pig started to wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. This was changed to no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. No animal shall drink alcohol, which was changed to no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. No animal shall kill another animal, which was changed to no animal shall kill another animal without cause. All animals are equal, which was changed to all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. So children, what's this got to do with David Icke? Well children, if you start to delete bits of information from the past that you don't like, you start to control history. You start to create a different reality than what the reality actually really was. You start to create a different perception of reality. You start to contort, to change, manipulate reality and people's reality, which is where we are left today. The frightful five, which are Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, which make up half of the 10 most valuable companies on the American stock market, and which Manju says collectively influence just about everything else that happens in tech, as well as the rest of the global economy. These people are manipulating history. They're starting to delete bits of history. That it's very difficult to find sources of information that go against what it is that they believe. And what they believe is not something that we've had any authority over. Because those businesses have enough power, clout and money to start to change the history of humans, to start to control the information, to start to control the mainstream, to start to control the modern narrative, to start to control our perception, which controls our behavior. And if you don't like what they're doing, or you try to tell people what they're doing, and they're the only platforms that you can use, you then get banned, which means that you are censored, silenced, and shut up. No one voted private companies in to control our freedom of speech. When you ban people like London Real, Brian Rose, David Icke, Alex Jones, Watson, you stop and control information. It doesn't matter if you don't like what they say. They have a right to freedom of speech. And we, the people, have a right to have platforms which do not control all the freedom of speech.